Hi everybody, so welcome to week 1 of Advanced Painting Techniques. This week is primarily going to focus on your kits, so the supplies that you have for the class. Every instructor is different. Every artist that you come in contact with will have a different approach. And so I like to dive into the palette that I use, the logic behind my colors in that palette, my brushes, anything else that I have in my toolkit that might just be specific to how I've developed my painting technique over the years, my studio setup, so on and so forth. And I actually am in a live-work studio situation, so I really am going to be taking you on a tour of my home and space and how I've kind of immersed myself, how I really dialed in the workflow for my own studio practice. So we're going to start with that. And then I'm going to go through composition, because as we become advanced painters, composition is really key. The more dynamic you can make your composition and the faster you can lock it in, the more elevated your work is going to look to yourself and your audience as well. So we will be creating viewfinders, and I will also be talking about still life setup. I really like to have artist focus when I teach so that we can look at the masters, both classic and contemporary, and get some ideas flowing through the dialogue of looking at art and discussing the canon of art and on that level. So we're going to have artist focus with Morandi and Claudio Bravo as we move through still life. And again, both of those artists, or not again, I should just say as an intro, both of those artists dedicated most of their career to still life painting. And both of them have very advanced techniques when it comes to that subject matter. So we're going to be really focusing on that. Again, we'll create viewfinders, or if you already have a viewfinder, you can kind of look at what I make and kind of compare your own situation as far as what you have for mapping out compositions to what I make there. And then we'll get right into it. We'll get right into that still life setup, and then we will start with our first pass of our painting, at least the layout, and maybe next week getting more into what do we think about when we do that direct painting first pass, what do we think about with the second pass and the third. Again, these are things that you're probably relatively familiar with, but every time that you deal with a new instructor or a new artist that you're dialoguing with, there's going to be new and various approaches or something maybe you haven't really seen before. So hopefully I can bring that forth. So besides these videos where you see me and I'm discussing what we're going to be going over for the week, there's also going to be these tutorials that are kind of a mix of my conversing with you and then an overhead camera where I show you how the work is done, or for example with still life setups, just kind of surveying the room and showing you via video what these things look like from various angles. I plan in this asynchronous course to have a combination of video, written assignments that have photos embedded in them, so kind of a step-by-step component, and then we'll have discussion boards where we can go back and dialogue as well. So you're going to have kind of a combination there. But I do always really like touching base with video, so that you kind of feel that you have me there in the room with you. It's just more personal in my opinion. I'll either have these studio videos that are shared with you via YouTube, so a YouTube channel that's going to house all of these videos, but then they'll also be in Canvas. I sometimes just kind of flip open that camera and record with the in Canvas, how do you put it, the add-ons or the plugins that they have in Canvas for video, and I sometimes just like pop in sometimes with announcements, so video announcements, things like that, just to touch base. And so you'll see 2 different formats when the videos come in. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to week 1. I'm looking forward to seeing, answering all your questions. You might have a lot of questions. Again, feel free, you can just pop in, say hi. You can either do that through, I'm going to have a meet and greet discussion board that we're all going to chime in on, and you can email me as well. And then always just feel free to ask questions, reach out. So that's all for now. Welcome to the class, and more to come very soon.